speaking of voicemails, and July 4th and fireworks. So I think we gave enough of the backstory, did we not?
I think so.
All right, so like I said, I am literally doing the 4th of July. I'm with the kids, enjoying the fireworks, enjoying a day of America. You know, the last thing I'm thinking of is Mark Moroso. Literally, the last thing I'm thinking of is Mark Moroso. At 9:12, I'm looking at it right now to be accurate. 9:12, I get a phone call, or I check my phone, probably 9:30 or whatever. And you see it and it says missed call and voicemail from Mark Moroso. And I was like, do I even want to listen to this? I thought there's a chance that maybe something actually bad happened to him. I was hoping. So I click, whatever, hit the button. And a minute and 6 seconds later, I'm not the same person after listening to this. I mean, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you guys think. Listen, I mean, how many times have you listened to this, Mike?
I mean, I said I think 75 is probably a fair, because I would play it for people. Like if people were at my house, I'd play it for them.
Oh, okay. Well, let's play it first. All right, here we go.
Yo, what's up, bro? Hey, listen, man. I just wanted to wish you a happy 4th of July. It's been a while since we hung out. And honestly, man, I'm starting to feel like you don't want me on the show. I mean,
all right, stop. I was hoping I could get through it once.
I wanted to let you play, but there were a few plays I wanted to pause after because I've studied this.
You want to play it through once, and then we'll break it down.
Okay,
Does that make sense, Dave?
Yeah.
All right, let's start again at the top.
Yo, what's up, bro? Hey, listen, man. I just wanted to wish you a happy 4th of July. It's been a while since we hung out. And honestly, man, I'm starting to feel like you don't want me on the show. I mean, honestly, it kind of feels like it's not a joke anymore. It kind of feels real. It's like, I once I was in on the joke, but now I feel like I'm outside. So I just want to see where you're at. Maybe you want to grab lunch, chill out. That's cool with me. So I think we could be so much more. That's all I'm saying. I mean, have you ever seen Behind the Candelabra? Because I feel like you're Michael Douglas, and I could be Matt Damon. 5 years that could be us, bro. That's all I'm saying. And also, Steve, he's all right. I don't like him. He kind of sucks. But can you shoot me his address? Just let me know where he's living at. That's all I need. So, and just let me know when you want to get lunch, let's say next week. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if you don't go to lunch with me next week, I'm going to officially start to feel like you actually don't like me. Or like you don't want me on the show, you don't want to hang out with me, which I think it's like a joke. I think it's a joke now. But if you don't go out with me next week for lunch, then I'm going to feel like it's real. That's all I'm saying. So I miss you. Call me. Let's hang out. Doesn't have to be radio stuff. Let's go get a pizza. All right, Kirk. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Happy 4th.
All right. I don't even know. So there are two ways to look at this.
There's a lot. There.
At least two ways to look at it. One is that he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
Two is he thinks he's playing like a Andy Kaufman-esque kind of funny character.
Right. Like, I'm the obsessed guy.
Yeah, who's also not funny at all, though, and like more annoying in a way. I almost wish he was a psychopath.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Well, the first thing people think when you hear that he left you a voicemail at 9 on July 4th is that he's shit-faced.
Right. Well, I think there's.
But he doesn't sound inebriated.
Sounds slightly slurred.
Maybe like he had a couple beers.
Yes.
Got a little liquid courage.
Yeah,
he sounds impaired. I just don't know how much.
He's not hammered.
Yeah.
He's not. No. He's as articulate as when he's sober.
Yeah, right.
Who would know? So it begins. Let's just start. Whenever you want to stop, Mike. Or
okay, because there's a lot. There are a lot of stopping points I'm going to have here.
Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Stop.
Okay, not a good start.
If I know you, and in fact, I think I've been there when you've said this to his face, that yo, what's up, bro, is going to turn you off immediately.
Right. But when I hear that, my first sign is, again, maybe he's joking because he knows I know it pisses. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
So what's going through you when you hear "Yo, what's up, bro"? Is it like,
well, he's
going to ask me for money? Or?
No, there's a sinking feeling where I realize, oh, this is going to be this call. Like, this is not like, hey, something happened to me or my mom died or I don't know, whatever. Like, hey, I saw this story that might be interesting to you. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this is the call. Like, you've always like
the call you've been expecting.
It's like one of those Lifetime movies where a girl like moves to a different town, assumes a different identity.
He's at the back door.
Yeah, and then he shows up again. It's like Sleeping with the Enemy, where it's like, oh God, he's back. Like, I had forgotten about him. Life was good. 4th of July, hot dogs and Harry, and like everything's wonderful. And then, my God, the monsters reappeared.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Go ahead, continue.
Hey, listen, man. I just wanted to wish you a happy 4th of July. it's been a while since we hung out.
Now, pause.
First of all,
Have you ever hung out?
No, I haven't. I have. He talks about getting a pizza at the end.
Yeah.
I've had more pizza with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Had, with Mark.
And I got to say, not worth a call. Not particularly entertaining.
What's that, the lunch?
The pizza with you. It was fine.
We had a
I
good
wouldn't
time.
go out of my way to do it again.
Right. And I don't know anybody wishes anybody a happy 4th of July, really, anyway. It's not like I don't even understand it.
But did you text him back and say, hey, if you ever want to grab lunch? During all the... Well, that's the thing. You said that to me.
Yeah, well, yes, but I didn't mean it. A. B,
I know you didn't mean it,
and B, I didn't do it. I would never do it.
But Moroso would think you mean it.
Right.
So have you ever intimated that maybe you want to grab a pizza?
No, in no way, shape,
And
or
I
form.
assume he means each grab a pizza. Like he would get his own, of course.
Well, I assume he means like he's going to turn my skin into like pizza cheese and eat it after he kills me. No?
So is he thinking? Now, here's what I want to know, and here's where the Rupert Pupkin scenario comes in.
Right.
I want to know: does he consider like being in the studio with you, hanging out, or has he envisioned a scenario where you two have already hung out? And you've asked him, like, Steve, listen, Mark, listen, Steve's going to be away for 3 weeks. I need 3 weeks from it. And he's like, Kirk, I just can't give you 3 weeks. You ask anything of me, I just cannot give you 3 weeks.
You know what's the best part of that scene in that movie, the King comedy, is when the girl comes over and asks for the autograph, and he's like, "That's my father's name." Whatever. Even like in his,
he's a hack in his mind.
Dreams, he's not funny. Like Jerry Lewis is kind of like, it's not. It's like, Rupert, I'm begging you. I just need 6 weeks. I just need 6
Kirk, I just cannot ask me anything else.
That's true. Moroso's probably. That's a good question. How deep is the insanity?
Yeah, like he says, hang out again, and I wonder what he means.
Oh, you think in his mind we've hung out?
That evidently, yeah.
Maybe. Go ahead. Continue.
And honestly, man, I'm starting to feel like you don't want me on the show.
All right, stop. I mean, it's gonna take forever.
I'm starting to feel. Now you started the show. You've hired a producer. You hired a second producer.
I've turned him down twice. I'm gonna tell Mark this like as loud and clear as possible. This is not an act. I don't want you to be part of the show. Like I don't know how else I could say it. I've said it nicely. I don't want.
Well, I'll tell you, I ruined that for you because I laughed. So he's gonna say like, "Oh yeah, I'm in on the joke. I'm in on the joke."
Well, the thing is, we're making it. He's the happiest person in the world.
Right.
Today at 11 o'clock, he's gonna be so happy because we're doing a whole fucking show with this lunatic. Go ahead.
It kind of feels like it's not a joke anymore. It kind of feels real. It's like, once I was in on the joke, but now I feel like I'm outside. So I just want to see where you're at. Maybe you want to grab lunch, chill out. That's cool with me. So I think we could be so much more.
It's cool with him. Hey, you know what? He'll make some time in his schedule if you want to get some lunch.
Look, I'm busy. You want to carve out next Thursday, Kirk? I can do a half hour.
Yeah, let me know a little in advance. I got to move some stuff around.
We'll chill. It'll be pretty chill. We'll hang out. We'll have a pizza. Go ahead.
So I think we could be so much more. That's all I'm saying. I mean, have you ever seen...
All right, stop.
I hate to keep doing it.
We're about to get to really like weird. I don't even understand where this...
We could be so much more is the... I've never heard that said to another man, even like lovers. Like,
so let's say, like, if you didn't know, like, you would think that... Before like the producer stuff, you would think this is like a couple, like a homosexual couple, Mark and Kirk, who broke up, right? Yes. And he's like, I fucked up.
Or no, you're on the outs. He had to stay at his mother's for a few days.
Right, yeah. Like, we could be so much more. I miss hanging. Let's get together. We can chill. No pressure. We don't have to fuck. No big deal. But I just want to hang out.
It would just be good to see you again.
Yeah. It'll be. I just feel like like I used to be in on. Now we're not in together. And like, what am I missing? Like, what's going on? What do you think? Now I picture. Where is Moroso as he leaves his message?
That's what
I've been wondering that for 5 days
Where
or whatever.
Physically is his family asleep?
Here's what I think is that he's got a young boy, Mark Moroso III, I believe.
The lineage continues.
And his lovely wife. Yep. And I imagine they were out maybe at a family gathering, maybe a few friends over.
A barbecue.
And I think Mark had a couple pops in him, and he goes, I got to make a business call. And he breaks away and he goes, you know what? I really think this is the time. Kirk's probably with his family. He's probably looking at Harry Minihane thinking, why is this a lump? Why couldn't he grow up to be what Mark Moroso is?
But like, what's scary to me about that is I don't think you're wrong necessarily. What's scary is that I was on his mind. Like that was like his.
Yes.
Like that meant that I've been creeping around for days, right?
Like, you know what? Like he's been going back and forth, and he maybe asked his wife a couple times, like, "You think I should call?" And she's like, "Leave the guy alone." And he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it. Hey, you know what? It'll just be a quick voicemail. No big deal. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna get it out of the way, and then I'll feel better. That'll put my mind at ease."
Now we're about to enter a territory that I understand because I've actually seen the television film. Behind the Candelabra, and I
Yes.
understand it's
Won some awards.
It's about Liberace and Matt Damon's character, and they are lovers.
Scott
and
Thorson, I believe.
Scott Thorson, that's right. Damon plays a character who's 18 at the beginning of it, which is a casting issue, I think, by Mr. Soderbergh. But I enjoyed it. Did you see it?
Oh, yes.
I thought Rob Lowe was excellent in it. But I don't understand his comparison here. I understand
Oh, I understand it. I understand it all too well.
I think I do, but I don't. It's. Let's just play. I don't even know what to say.
So I think we could be so much more. That's all I'm saying. I mean, have you ever seen Behind the Candelabra? Because I feel like you're Michael Douglas, and I could be Matt Damon.
Okay,
you know?
stop.
Now, a lot of people my age that listen to this program probably don't know the Liberace story, so let me fill them in.
Sure, go ahead.
Michael Douglas is playing Liberace.
Correct.
Famously, flamboyantly gay.
Publicly, still living the life of a back before, like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, like I would see Liberace.
When are you going to get married, Lee?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would see like I'd be at my grandparents' house and it'd be like a Merv Griffin show or Michael Douglas and Liberace would be playing the piano and they would ask him about, gee, you have so many female friends. And like, I'd be like, I would look at my grandma and be like, this guy is like there's no way. It's like Boy George when I was a kid.
Right.
But they had to, pre-rock Hudson, you had to kind of do this whole thing and whatever. So you're right.
He was very gay.
He was very
And
gay.
Scott Thorson was his young male lover.
Right.
Who got they were obsessed with each other to the point where Scott Thorson got facial reconstruction surgery
look like him, right?
to look like Liberace.
Right. And
Now having set that up,
and like it was and he was basically almost like a sex slave, and then he found another guy and moved on.
right?
Right, which I guess is Robinson.
So I guess now in this scenario, when Moroso is
But how is it similar? I don't understand how it's similar to that relationship, which is pretty graphic and real. I saw the movie, read stories about it. How is that similar to
he's
Moroso?
willing to get his face surgically repaired to
He's
look like
willing to do that, but like he worked part-time for me for like a month. I'm not sure how I.
It's very similar. It's almost the same thing.
Okay, go. Is that? Do you understand that? Other than like a cheap like gay joke or whatever.
I guess that's what he's trying to go for, but I don't think maybe he doesn't realize. My guess is he's never seen the film.
I think you're probably right.
So maybe he doesn't realize the levels to which this love.
Well, I
went.
think he knows that the two of them are having, homosexual
He
sex.
thinks it's funny because it's like, oh, we're gay.
Yeah, we're gay.
But it's like the obsession is so much more there.
Which is ironic.
Yeah,
All
right.
right, go ahead.
You're Michael Douglas, and I could be Matt Damon. 5 years, that could be us, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Now, I want to know what he means. Why the 5 years timeline?
What do you mean?
Like, does he think? Why 5 years specifically? Like, he thinks.
I didn't hear 5 years. What did he say?
He said in 5 years that could be us.
Bro. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah. So he's like, hey, let's just give me 5 years, Kirk. Just give me 5 years to make an impression on you. I don't think I'm asking that much.
I have never spent 5 seconds outside the studio. Oh, that's not true. We did the Marty Walsh thing, but I've never spent any time socially with Moroso, nor would I ever.
Well, just give him 5 years. That's not. I don't get why you're so.
I'll be 50 years old. So, like, Moroso's gonna like just live with me for 5 years, or like we're gonna enter a relationship. I'm gonna leave my family and like start like in that movie they take like baths together and they sleep together and they travel together. And
Just give that a try for say 4 or 5 years.
for 60 months. I'm gonna. All right, go ahead. I missed
5 years, that could be us, bro. That's all I'm saying. And also,
You should hold on, dude. You should write a book on this.
I could. There's nothing. There's no. In school, there's never been a project I've worked on more than this. I've listened to it over and over again, endlessly.
5 years, that could be us, bro. That's all I'm saying. And also, Steve, he's all right. I don't like him. He kind of sucks.
Hold on.
The trailing off. Steve, he's all right. I don't like him. He kind of sucks.
Now, I think Mark is thinking like, is he thinking there? Well, boy, maybe Kirk will take heed of that comment and fire Steve, or is he just?
Oh, Mark doesn't like Steve. Had I realized?
Or is that just the anger? Is that just anger right there?
I'll tell you what it is. It's Mark saying, I'm going to be diplomatic here. I'm gonna be the bigger man, and I'm gonna say, Steve, you've got my stamp of approval. But then he realizes that kind of takes away, like if he okays Steve,
Yeah, it takes away his power.
and he realizes if he okays Steve, then Kirk's gonna say
that's
like,
the Moroso you love right there, because part of it's like, oh my god, I'm losing my grip on this. My master plan is falling apart. Well, Steve sucks.
well, he's thinking like if Steve gets the Moroso stamp of approval, Kirk's gonna say, oh well, then that's all I need. Now Steve's got a job.
House of Cards is falling apart.
Right.
But Moroso's so smart, he quickly makes the save. It says that Steve
he
sucks.
kind of sucks.
Everything's restored.
You know what I said? A mere millisecond ago. Forget that.
By the way, think about how long 5 years ago is. Like, think about how long.
5 years ago, I was at Barstool. No, I wasn't even at Barstool yet.
Where was I 5 years ago this week was Aaron Andrews.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
All-Star break. Yeah. Go ahead. Let me hear the rest of it.
He's all right. I don't like him. He kind of sucks. But can you do me a favor, dude, and shoot me his address?
Okay, now we're in the world. So I did. Is that a big deal? That's a big deal.
Thank God he's out of the country.
Yeah.
Let's hope he has Simply Safe.
Well, I gave him his address and all this. There you go. I gave him his address and all the places he was going to be in Europe. It seemed fine.
Mark's got some connects in Albania, I hear.
So Moroso's
stay away.
Moroso's now trying again to be funny.
Right. I will have it. It comes off as like you're hunting him down. That's Moroso trying to be like, I don't like Steve. What's his address? Just
yeah, that's him being like, I'm in on the joke.
He's being affable.
But when you're in on the joke, but you're so clearly like
Not
losing your mind, like it's not as funny.
Right.
Like, it's
right.
it's. All right, how much time we have left on this?
I think we got a good amount.
I'm here.
Just let me know where he's living at. That's all I need. So.
By the way, sorry, I'm going to pause this every 2 seconds. He's incapable of speaking a sentence. Like, he just can't.
Yeah.
He's always thinking of the next thing, and he's like.
He's also, for the listeners that don't know, he's claimed he's the funniest guy in the building. But there's
how much humor is he giving us today?
But that's true. But there's when he says like can you give me Steve's address? There's not a hint of sarcasm or levity. There's simply I'm going to ask for his address with no context.
Right. Like I said, the idea of him, his whole image is much funnier than. There's nothing funny about him. But the idea, it's the class. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just let me know where he's living at. That's all I need. So, and just let me know when you want to get lunch. Let's say next week, because I'm being honest with you.
Not this. Now this is brilliant by Moroso. It's not when can you. It's let me know when you want to get.
Right,
that's a sales tactic.
Very smooth.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
I have to admit, I fell for it. Yeah. Like once again, I fell right into his game.
Like, well, I guess Thursday at noon I'm free. I have to pick a day.
I'm not asking you if we can get lunch. I'm in fact telling you when we're going to do it.
Just you tell me when you're
allowing
free.
you to pick the day.
I'll carve some time out for you.
And just let me know when you want to get lunch. Let's say next week, because I'm being honest with you. If you don't go to lunch with me next week.
Now, here's what I want to know from you.
Yeah.
In that moment, there's a split second.
I know what you're going to say.
There's a split second where I thought threat coming, and I want to know what you thought was coming after this word.
Now, Moroso always says, "I'm going to be honest with you," so I wasn't that concerned.
Okay,
but you're right. I remember thinking he might just say, "I'm going to cut your fucking."
The Grim Reaper was at your doorstep. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm going to come after you with a machete.
Which at that point, honestly, I'd be like, fine. Like, as opposed to I would rather
keep my family.
I'd rather chop my head off than fucking have lunch with them. Honestly, that's not even a question. Like, if you're me right now, in any scenario other than I'm going to kill your family, could you imagine me sitting down like today, like noon, and having pizza with Moroso for an hour? Like, how awful does that? Like, how awful does that sound? And talk about what?
Because here'd be the lunch. He's like, so it would really be like Rupert Pupkin. It's very Rupert Pupkin-esque. This thing.
Would, yes.
It's like it would be him saying, I got some great ideas for the show, and you're just looking down at your food, trying to get trying to appease him as much as it can, whatever, get through the slice and try to get out of there while he's pitching ideas. Hillman does this a lot, and I think it'd be good for your show.
You should do a thing where you go out in the street, and I'm like, yeah, it's good. Or you should do a thing where it's like, who said what? So
what if you had me go out on the street in my dog costume, and I say, how rough is your sex? Things like that, and we could do it for Get Roman.
In this scenario, are you Sandra Bernhard? Are you gonna get taped up?
I wondered if I would be the Sandra Bernhard.
I think you might be. All right, go ahead.
Because I'm being honest with you, if you don't go to lunch with me next week, I'm gonna officially start to feel like you actually don't like me.
The horror. Oh, my God. Kirk, get on this. Have you text him back? Hurry up. He's going to start to think he's not a part of the show.
I like that it's official.
That's it. That is it.
Is there a chart? Is there some sort of mathematical?
Kirk, you can jerk me around a lot, but I'll be damned if I'm going to walk away without my dignity.
You can ignore me for 3 months. You can never talk to me. You can have me dress up like a dog. But if we don't have pizza next week, it's official.
That is it.
Official.
That is it.
Which means I'm sure he'll never, ever, if I don't have pizza with him this week, never, ever, ever bother me again. I think he's a man of his word.
He's like, all right, Kirk, I said last week, but that's it. This week, if you don't have kielbasa with me.
We are done. And it's official. Super official. All right, go ahead.
I'm going to officially start to feel like you actually
feel like.
Or like you don't want me on the show.
Process of grieving.
I don't want you on the show. I don't want. You've listened to this guy. Like I would do stuff like this. That's his character. Like what, he's not going to sit here with us and do what?
Well, there is an element of, I've mentioned, I think Steve would be benefited by like an intern or an assistant producer, and I think not him. Because he's too threatening to Steve.
No.
But like a guy
I'm
like
saying for Dave. I'm saying I don't want Moroso to have any dreams.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, I think it'd be hilarious.
Great. I'm sure you would.
If I were technically his boss, say, like if I got hired officially and we're Moroso's boss, I want it so bad. Please, come on.
You have your own show.
I don't need pay if we hire Moroso.
You have your own show. Put him on the blind mic fucking. Have his own show there.
Oh, he's more than welcome.
Oh, go ahead.
Or like you don't want me on the show, you don't want to hang out with me, which I think is like a joke. I think it's a joke now.
So stop. Do you think right there, is he playing a character? Does he think?
No.
Okay. Does he? But he doesn't think it's a joke, right?
Oh, yes, he does.
You think that?
So here's what he thinks. Here's why the call was made, I believe.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
No,
I believe the call was made because he says people have gotten in his ear and said, listen, stop fucking talking about Kirk Minihane because he doesn't watch you on the show.
Right.
And he's saying, man, is it possible that every single person except for me is right about this?
The answer is no.
So he sees that window closing. And he says, I still know it's a joke. These guys are idiots. I know it's a joke. But hey, you don't have lunch with me next week. then a lot of questions are going to come up in your world, pal.
I was close that night, honestly. Like, I think of the show first always. I was like, I have to swallow this and hold off. I was close to texting him being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you what are you doing? But I didn't for the life of it, because, it's just... how would you feel if you got a message like that?
Well, how would you feel if, like, like Jerry Callahan left you that message? Like, a genuine friend of yours was like, hey, can we go to lunch? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I'd get lunch.
That would be like, you'd think this man was on the brink of doing something drastic.
He's a friend, and we've been through a lot together, and I love him. Like, we've had our problems, but I love Jerry.
That's the only scenario where this message is appropriate.
Right, but Jerry's one of my best friends.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a complicated relationship. He's one of my best friends. Moroso is...
You barely know an acquaintance.
The least friend I have in the world. Like, if I don't know what the bare definition of a friend is, but he's the very he can't be
antithesis.
Lower. Like, I've met him. Like, if that's the qualification, like, I don't I would consider like Murchison more of a friend.
You've got more of a relationship.
Yes, I do. He's meant more to me professionally. All right, let's try.
It's almost over. Yeah.
I think it's like a joke. I think it's a joke now, but if you don't go out with me next week for lunch, then I want to feel like it's real. That's all I'm saying.
Even the phrase of "go out with me for lunch" is an odd phrase. Like, you want to go out with me next week?
You're gonna go out with me for almost like a mafia tactic.
Yeah.
Like it means something else.
See, I think it's more of like a girlfriend thing. Like, go out. Like,
that's obvious.
Yeah, obviously it's later than that. But if I was gonna text you and say, hey, you want to go? Like, will you go out with me?
Let's
and
go
have
out.
Lunch?
Let's go steady.
Yeah, but like, you want to go get. I don't know. The whole thing is so fucked up. Go ahead.
Then I want to feel like it's real. That's all I'm saying. So
what does that mean?
That's all he's saying. All he's saying is if you don't return his call, he's going to feel like you're not joking. So if you keep doing what you've been doing for 3 months, he's going to get the message finally, is basically what he's saying.
He says he wants to feel like it's real. Like, what's real?
That he means that he's a joke to you.
Oh, is it bothering? This is like your area now of expertise. You
Yes.
need to teach a class on this.
I genuinely could.
I think you should.
And I could relate it to so many psychological and sociological things. Like,
you think there's some psychological effects here?
oh yes,
Yeah, you think?
It's, what a now. What the follow up to this should be having a therapist in and dissecting this.
I would bring Moroso. No, I was gonna say I'd bring Moroso in with a therapist, but the problem is he's gonna suck on the air. We'll laugh, but it'll suck. 'cause
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's that thing.
Yeah,
Like we're amused by him, but are the listeners amused by this?
I hope so.
I mean, I don't.
because I can do this for the rest of the
I don't
week.
care. But like,
Yeah.
I wonder if when he comes in, like that,
This was my favorite stuff when like Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern would mess with their
My
guy.
favorite thing to do.
This was absolutely my favorite thing
Right,
ever.
this is all I
Yeah.
want to do. This is it. Go ahead. We'll try and wrap it up. I know.
And I want to feel like it's real. That's all I'm saying. So I miss you. Call me. Let's hang out. Doesn't have to be radio stuff. Let's go get pizza.
Stop.
Hey, I hope you weren't thinking, I'd love to hang out with Moroso, but my concern is we're going to get too bogged down in the nitty-gritty radio talk. And I'd like to talk to the guy about love and life, music,
This is
and
gonna be the
different
kind of lunch
experiences.
where one of these lunches again, where Kirk asks me radio shit, and I have to explain him how the business works. Like, or it could just be two, because it's just two equals. You know, it's just two giants.
Mark, you've got it. And I'm not telling you that because I want to steal it. I'm just telling you because you've got it.
I don't know where you got it. I don't know how you have it, but you got it, and you're stuck with it.
And you're stuck with it.
This is your life, Mark. You come sit at the table with us. You're one of us now. Get in here. I don't know what to say. Like,
You never called me, Kirk. You said you were going to call me.
Mark, I'm begging you. Okay, you want me to get on my hands and knees? I'm begging you. Come in and
Do
fill
you
it.
think the next step is showing up at your beach house, your summer house up in Maine? I'm sorry, wherever it may be. It could be anywhere.
We'll be with the butler. Hey, was he playing golf? Did he break 100 today?
100. Yes, 100.
By the way, that is required viewing is The King of Comedy.
Absolutely.
1982. It's actually my brother and I would when De Niro started doing these sellout comedies, Meet the Parents and all this stuff. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, De Niro can do comedy." And I was like, well, "Fucking, did you see The King of Comedy or Midnight Run? Like,
Yeah.
the guy's fucking the greatest."
Where's Mr. Minihane out playing golf?
It's a story of. Scorsese directed it. Total bomb when it came out. It's a total cult movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Complete bomb. And Scorsese was all drugged out at the time. De Niro plays Rupert Pupkin, who's a failed stand-up comedian who's obsessed with a Johnny Carson-like character that Jerry Lewis plays, Jerry Langford. And he stalks him basically throughout the movie. And that's basically the movie, really.
Honestly, if you listen to this voicemail first and then watch King of Comedy, you'll think these guys ripped off
Right, that's true.
the Kirk Minihane show.
But it's one of my favorite movies. It's a fucking
great, yeah.
incredible movie. And De Niro is unbelievable in it. He's great. He's the total fucking, and he comes out at the end, and I won't give it away if you want to watch it.
It's Rupert Pupkin.
It is funny. But go ahead, let's finish this up.
Call me. Let's hang out. Doesn't have to be radio stuff. Let's go get a pizza. All right, Kirk.
It's funny to think that Moroso thought it was like calling him to talk radio stuff. Like, what radio stuff? What does that mean?
Mark, what are your thoughts on Cousin Brucey?
I heard the that AM station in Buffalo is for sale, Mark. Like, what do you think about that? Well, Mark, what's going on there? I heard they're changing the time of the updates on whatever, some sport. Like, what the fuck radio?
You know, Mark, a lot of people say IMS ruined radio, but it was downhill before that. I'm going to tell you.
Like, what does Mark do in radio? I don't even know. What does he do?
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to don't worry about what he does because he can talk about any subject.
What did you talk to Moroso about this lunch, Dave?
I don't think we talked about much. It wasn't that long. It was like 15 minutes.
Sentenced. Well, it was done so fast.
No, we were
the three of them just gobbled everything up on their plates.
MHB was just obsessed with his notifications, just on how he did on the show.
Oh.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, he had a
Oh, because it was right after that, right?
it was
Oh, that's true. He was in that. Yeah, he was
In the zone.
He was in his zone for
By
sure.
the way, his own way, another psychopath. I mean, really, not like Moroso, but in a different way.
But MHB's at least a person that you can talk.
Oh, definitely. I like him. I'm saying he's also crazy.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
But I don't get the fear that he's going to. I'm comfortable with MHB knowing where I live. I'm not that comfortable now with Moroso knowing where I live.
No, I mean, Moroso, it sounds. I don't know. That was it, right? You said goodbye or whatever?
Let's see.
All right, Kirk. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Happy 4th.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, hey, happy 4th. Like, you know what, Kirk? I'm gonna wrap it up with the air. You know, you kept me a little while, but happy 4th, buddy.
How many times did Moroso sort of false finish in that phone call too? Like how many times do you think, okay, like he's finally done, but he's like,
Yeah,
you know what?
there's a big he's ramping down every few seconds.
Yeah, but then
it's
he's
kind of like the all right, well, but then he keeps going.
Do you think he had notes?
Ooh, that's
Or is that Moroso off the cuff?
No, that's great.
that's off the cuff.
That's off
I
the
think.
cuff.
I think
yeah.
that's off the cuff.
Yeah, we get him going.
He prepared mentally for sure, like Luca Brasi.
So when he hung up the phone, did you think, okay, well, mission accomplished? Like, okay, like, you know what, honey, let's clear. Yeah,
Dusted his hands off.
let's clear
The
our lunch
deed
for
is
next.
done.
Let's go to lunch for next week.
He walked back out and said, "Well, guys, guess whose life's about to change."
And like, did he sit there and look at the phone the rest of the weekend and think, well, all right, well, obviously he's 4th of July, he's busy, he's in Maine, maybe the reception wasn't that great. When he gets back, we'll figure out lunch. We'll do it Wednesday.
Now, here's the
Thursday.
thing, and I think I know what your opinion's going to be. But he quote tweeted that. Well, your thing about the
Oh, this
voicemail.
is bullshit.
And he said, "I did what?" Yeah,
bullshit.
And that was obvious. Okay, good. I thought so.
No, yeah.
Because I was kind of like, you remember doing it. Because he wasn't shit faced.
No,
He wasn't.
I mean,
you know.
you've got to be. I've done it. You've got to be like way, way, way back. You've got to be fucking annihilated not to remember.
To not remember
I
even
think
doing it.
That's like a movie thing that never. You've got to be obliterated.
Because at the very least, you can remember picking up the phone and saying a few words.
That's dumb. Like he was not. To me, he sounded like he had a couple of drinks and he was a little buzzed and felt, like you said, a little liquor courage. Like he used to have at the bar. I'm gonna go talk to the girl. Had a few drinks. I could see that. A couple of people being like, "Hey, what's going on with the Minihane show? Why aren't you part of it?" And he's like, "You know what?
You're right. That's a fine question you ask.
There comes a time in history a man has to draw a line." And today is that day for Mark Moroso Jr. I am going to do something that is going to make Kirk stand up and say, "I have to have this guy in my life."